You ever feel like you're just stuck, repeating the same old patterns, wondering why nothing ever really changes? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful but kind of intense framework for real personal transformation. The idea is simple. To build something brand new, you first have to be willing to tear down the old. Yeah, it's about intentional destruction. So let's get into it.
It really all kicks off with this moment, right? A powerful decision. It's that point where you just know that the person you've been, all your habits, your stories, it's just not going to cut it for the future you actually want. It's basically you declaring to yourself, okay, I'm ready for something more. But here's the thing, and this is really the core of it all. This isn't about making a few small tweaks, some minor adjustments here and there. Nope. We're talking about a complete teardown, a total demolition of the old you, just to make space for something new and a lot more powerful to be built. And this is such a crucial point. You just can't build a new life if you're still clinging to all the old habits, the old beliefs, the old stories. It just doesn't work. So the first step in this whole journey is really getting our heads around why the old you has to go, completely.
All right, so let's get into phase one. This is deconstruction, or as I like to call it, clearing the ground. Just think about it like a massive construction project. You want to build a brand new skyscraper, right? Well, you can't just build it on top of the old crumbling building. First, you've got to bring in the wrecking ball, demolish everything, and clear the site completely. And that's exactly what we're talking about doing with our lives here.
So how do we actually do this? Well, this phase has 4, I'd say, non-negotiable steps. We're going to walk through every single one, because let me tell you, this is the hard part. But it's also where the real possibility for change actually begins.
Okay, step 1. You've got to face the brutal, uncomfortable truth. It's kind of like a battle between two versions of you. On one side, you've got the old you, the one that loves denial, makes excuses, and blames everyone else. But on the other side, that's where the new you starts to show up. And that new person, they're built on a foundation of just radical honesty. Because at the end of the day, you can't change what you won't even look at.
All right, step 2 is a big one, breaking free from your past. Look, your history is a lesson for sure, but it is not a life sentence. As long as you're dragging around the chains of old mistakes, failures, or heartbreaks, you're just stuck. You can't move forward. And forgiveness in this context, it's not really about the other person. It's about you, cutting yourself free. Step 3 is all about getting ruthless with your habits. We're talking about those small, destructive patterns that are silently sabotaging everything. I mean, your life today is basically just the sum of your daily actions. But here's the key. It's not enough to just stop doing something. You have to replace it. You've got to fill that empty space with a positive action. That's how you send a powerful message to your own brain that, yeah, things are different now.
And finally, the last step in this whole deconstruction phase, you have to protect your new ground. This means cutting off toxic influences. And I'm talking people, media, environments, anything that just drains your energy and stops you from growing. And listen, this is not selfish. It is essential. You just can't rebuild your life in the exact same environment that broke you.
Okay, so the ground is clear? You've done the demolition work? That brings us to phase 2, laying a brand new foundation. Because before we can build anything that's going to last on the outside, we have to forge some serious, unwavering strength on the inside first.
So, the first pillar of this new foundation is what we call the warrior mindset. Now, don't get the wrong idea. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about resilience. It's that deep, steady fire inside that just keeps burning, especially when your motivation is gone. And how do you build it? By intentionally choosing the hard path, by leaning into discomfort instead of what we usually do, which is run away from it.
The second pillar is mastering self-control. I love this analogy. Think of it as the brake system for your life. It's that tiny, crucial space between an impulse and your action. It's the skill of hitting pause so you can choose long-term growth over that instant, short-term gratification. And true freedom isn't just doing whatever you feel like. It's having the power to choose your actions intentionally, with purpose.
All right, the ground is cleared, we've laid a rock-solid foundation, and now we get to the exciting part. This is phase 3, reconstruction. This is where we get to actively and intentionally start building the new life we've been imagining.
See, this is the real power of starting from zero. It's a totally blank canvas. Most people just kind of drift through life, but not you, not anymore. You now have this incredible opportunity to be the architect of your own life, to design it from the ground up, based on what you truly value and a vision that's crystal clear.
So this whole reconstruction phase, it focuses on 3 core blueprints. We're going to move from weak, scattered habits to absolutely unshakable daily routines. We're going to go from having no real unique value to offer to developing skills that are both rare and valuable. And we're going to shift from just surviving financially to building a bulletproof foundation. This is how you build real, tangible strength in the real world.
Think of your routines as the brand new operating system for your life. Seriously, they are what will carry you forward on the days when motivation is just gone. And it will disappear, trust me. Having a strong morning routine and a solid evening routine, that gives you the structure you need for consistent progress. They become your anchor in the middle of all life's chaos. Now this, right here, this is a huge mindset shift when it comes to building skills. The marketplace, the world, it doesn't pay you for your time. It just doesn't. It pays you for the value you bring. So by focusing on developing rare and valuable skills, you stop chasing opportunities and you start making them come to you. Okay, so you've deconstructed the old, you've rebuilt the new, so you're done, right? Ha, not even close. The final and maybe the most important part of all this is realizing that this is not a one-and-done project. It's a continuous, lifelong commitment to growth and maintenance.
Look, life is never going to stop testing you. Pain and struggle, they're inevitable. The game-changing skill is learning how to reframe it. Instead of letting suffering break you down, you learn how to use it as fuel. That's how you start turning every single obstacle into another opportunity to get stronger.
And this is so key. We live in a world that is just screaming for instant results, right? But you have to master patience. Real, meaningful change, it's built slowly. It's built brick by brick with consistent daily actions. You've got to learn to trust the process, play the long game, and really focus on the journey itself, not just the final destination.
And if there's one thing to really let sink in, it's this. Growth is never static. Complacency is the absolute enemy of progress. The second you think you've made it or arrived, that's the exact moment the old you starts creeping back in. The real goal is to stay a student for life, to always be curious, always be hungry, and always be evolving.
So, we end right where we started, but with a new question. The framework is laid out, the path is clear. The old, broken down building is gone. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build now? The ground is clear. The choice is all yours.